FBI Director Kash Patel has really enjoyed filing defamation lawsuits lately. He's filed not one, but 2 defamation suits that I'm aware of in the last 2 years. On June 2nd, 2025, Patel sued a former FBI official for defamation for stating on MSNBC that Director Patel was visible at nightclubs far more than he has been on the 7th floor of the FBI's headquarters in D.C. Most of us would understand these comments to be sarcastic or just a bit of gossip against the boss, and the court agreed. Any reasonable person would not take the statement as an assertion of fact and determine the statement to be rhetorical hyperbole. A reasonable person is a legal standard here. So in terms of defamation suits, what a court will consider in evaluating whether something is an opinion, rhetorical hyperbole, is how it sounds to this legal fictitious person called the reasonable person. So this is just your average Joe based on this average person's experience. Would you, as a reasonable person or as the average person in our society, think that was a statement of fact? That, the speaker literally calculated the number of days that he's partying in clubs and the number of days he's in the office to make a factual assertion? Or would you just think of it as office banter and someone going after their boss? Now, the court said that this is clearly rhetoric hyperbole, right? It's not a factual assertion, it's someone's opinion on the performance of Kash Patel as FBI director. So the court threw out Patel's suit, at least his first defamation suit. Now, when I heard about this suit, I was expecting more sensational allegations concerning Patel's alleged visits to the Poodle Club in Vegas and freakouts as described by The Atlantic. I keep wanting to call it the Pink Pony Club.
I know.
Because it's like the Pink Poodle Club, but it's just the Poodle Club. But don't worry, Director Patel isn't done fighting for his reputation. On April 20th of this year, Patel decided to file suit against The Atlantic and the writer Sarah Fitzpatrick. The allegations in the article, Kash Patel's erratic behavior could cost him his job, included the following allegations. Patel is known to drink to the point of obvious intoxication while in the presence of White House and other administrative staff. Patel is also known to drink to excess at the Poodle Club in Las Vegas, where he frequently spends parts of his weekend. Early in his tenure, meetings and briefings had to be rescheduled for later in the day as a result of his alcohol-fueled nights. Members of his security detail had difficulty waking Patel because he was seemingly intoxicated. A request for breaching equipment, normally used by SWAT and hostage rescue teams to quickly gain entry into a building, was made last year because Patel had been unreachable behind a locked door. Patel's alleged alcohol consumption had impacted law enforcement investigating the murder of Charlie Kirk. And Patel used his position to target political and personal adversaries of the president and claimed that FBI merchandise was not intimidating enough. I don't know what FBI merchandise is either. Okay. I was thinking, when you take a tour, you can get the little, merch. Days before the U.S. launched its war with Iran, Patel fired members of a counterintelligence squad that was devoted in part to Iran. Patel also alleges that Fitzpatrick could not get a single person to go on record in defense of these outrageous allegations, instead relying entirely on anonymous sources she knew to be both highly partisan, with an axe to grind, and also not in a position to know the facts. Sources staying anonymous are likely trying to avoid getting sued, especially if they're talking about someone this litigious. I wonder how he knows that these sources are highly partisan and not in a position to know the facts if they're supposedly anonymous. The Atlantic has time to file its answer. It may have by the time of publication of this video, and this may be a motion to dismiss Patel's lawsuit against them. Since Patel is a public figure suing a news publication, he will have to show actual malice, meaning that both The Atlantic and Fitzpatrick knew what they published was false. We do often see public figures fail to bring suits for defamation and speech-related claims, but that certainly doesn't stop them from trying. To be fair, winning a lawsuit would be the only way to set the story straight on the public record if the statements were defamatory. However, Patel could also set the record straight by issuing his own speech. And at main law here, I do advise my clients on both their right to file a defamation suit to hold folks accountable for false statements of fact, but I also advise them on their right to counter defamatory speech by exercising their First Amendment right. So winning a lawsuit could be a way to set the record straight, but so could be telling your own story, counteracting harmful narratives online. Losing these types of suits do more damage and just call more attention to the statements that a plaintiff is fighting against. Again, even entering into a settlement, especially as a public figure, people are entitled to draw their own conclusions. So there is value to exercising your own First Amendment right to free speech when defamed online. We shall see how the district court rules in Patel's latest defamation suit if he manages to actually meet this rigorous standard. If Patel wins, Poodle Club, here he comes with his friends. He's gonna be taking that Judge Fit money and having one wild night out on the town. Vegas, get ready for Patel's legal victory in this latest suit.